Could we really see Denny Hamlin miss this weekend's race in Mexico City? Plus, F1 not only breaks up motorsports Christmas, it might have just caused a civil war in motorsports. Welcome back to the Breaking Bob channel. Hope y'all are doing well on this Tuesday night. If you're new here, as always, hit that subscribe button. I'm always talking NASCAR and motorsports on a daily basis here at Breaking Bob. Just go ahead, click the button. You won't be sorry, I promise. And if you are, well, just take a number. It's fine. But no, we've got a lot to get into. Various motorsports news today, as we've got, of course, NASCAR heading down south across the border to Mexico this weekend. The haulers, as we speak, are in Mexican territory. It's exciting. I got to say, a lot of fans I know are kind of hesitant about it, but I think it's great we're growing the sport. But let's get into the news that came out today. First, some fun news, some exciting news before we end it on a heavy subject. Last night, Bozy Tatrovich posted on social media that he expected and heard that J.R. Hildebrand was running Pikes Peak this year with an old NASCAR Cup car. And J.R. confirmed it on his social media that he will be running Pikes Peak this year in the old Kyle Petty Hot Wheels Pontiac from the late 90s. Check out this video from his social media.
I've got my own race car. So everybody please give a warm welcome to the 1997 through 99 Kyle Petty Hot Wheels road course car to the mountain. Now, we have been busting it on this thing to get ready to come out here, do one of the most challenging events in all of motorsports.
This is awesome. The old livery with the Hot Wheels, the Pontiac, late 90s Cup car. This is just nostalgia at its finest. And for those that know J.R. Hildebrand, of course, he's raced in almost everything you can imagine. Of course, his near Indy 500 win in 2011 is really what he's known for, but guy's wheeled it in almost everything. He's no stranger to running this mountain run. If you're unfamiliar with it, out in Colorado, it's a timed race. You get a run up the mountain, up the Pikes Peak mountain in Colorado. I think it's 12,000, 14,000 feet up. It's insane, the fact that they have done this for decades. And at this point in time, could we really see a NASCAR Cup car, a road course car from the 90s really make this run? If anyone can do it, it's J.R. Hildebrand for sure. But just love it. Awesome scheme. Great idea overall. J.R. Hildebrand, of course, is one of the best people to run this idea, and he could tell how excited I think he is to do this. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you were ever going to run Pikes Peak, what car would you like to do it in? All right, some lighthearted things to start off the channel today, but let's get into some serious stuff here. Denny Hamlin. Of course, this is week 3 now on Baby Watch, as Denny is expecting his third child, baby boy number 1. He's got to be excited to be a boy dad. Finally, we've had all this stress the last few weeks of, will Denny Hamlin race? Came and got through Nashville fine. We got through last week fine at Michigan. So for Denny, now all eyes are on Mexico City. And Denny Hamlin had some interesting comments today for On Track, the show on Sirius XM Channel 60 for NASCAR. Listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, I said from the very beginning, if she hasn't had it, by the time I need to leave for Mexico, then I'm not going to go to Mexico. I think that that's the proper thing to do. But really just letting her call the shots. I think that's the best thing. And, when she, her body and her mind says that it's time, then that's what we'll do. And ultimately I need to be there for her, during, post, and all those things. So, just going to make sure I spend the proper time with her, and obviously the racing will come second this week.
So there you go. Denny Hamlin could really be missing the race if we don't have a baby boy on the ground by Thursday. I understand it for Hamlin. You've got full day of practice on Friday. You've got qualifying and Saturday and then the race Sunday. And it's not like you can go back and forth. You have to go through customs, and it's a whole ordeal. It's a different sort of travel weekend than it would be if he was in Michigan or Nashville. It changes things. So for Denny to say, if there's no baby by Thursday, I'm sitting here and parking it on the couch, and I'll be the dad of the year, the dad of the weekend at least. You got to commend him for putting the foot down and saying enough's enough. I'm going to be here. And Ryan Truex, it sounds like, has been confirmed by JGR to be the reserve driver once again. So Ryan Truex is probably silently hoping that baby holds out for a little bit longer as he gets a chance to wheel the number 11 Toyota for Denny Hamlin that was in victory lane just this weekend at Michigan. Just a fascinating story to watch, and something that's developing every single second at this point. One thing I didn't mention, though, Denny will be granted a playoff waiver if he misses this weekend at Mexico. Birth of a child, awaiting the birth of a child, that is covered under NASCAR's terms for you can miss a race. So No drama from last year with Kyle Larson in the double waiver. We're not going to have that. Denny Hamlin will be in the playoffs here. There's no worry about that if he's not in Mexico this weekend. And finally, some major news in the motorsports world internationally involving multiple series. We've got, of course, the Motorsports Christmas that was broken up finally. This was the last year of it. F1 racing in the morning in Monaco, the Indy 500 midday here in America, and then the Coke 600 for NASCAR to finish out the night. This was the last year they're running it, of course, as Monaco is being moved to June in the F1 calendar. And that schedule did come out this morning for F1, their whole 2026 schedule. And May 24th, that date that originally used to go to Monaco, now it will be the Canadian GP. Not only is F1 going head-to-head with the Indy 500, they're doing it in North America at almost the same time. It sounds like F1 will be running this race around 2, 1 o'clock, 12, depending on where you're at in the country. But they're taking a direct shot at IndyCar, saying, your crown jewel, one of the biggest races in the world, doesn't matter. We're going to come in to Canada just a couple hours north, and we're going to plant our flag in North America just a little bit deeper, it sounds like. Some fans were very excited that Monaco was getting moved because potentially F1 would open that date, and maybe this was a pipe dream. This was never going to happen, but maybe F1 drivers could come back and race the Indy 500 like back in the old school days. You saw Fernando Alonso, of course, attempt it twice in the last decade. No, that's not what's going to happen. And if you really even think back to it, and if you don't know this is the dirty game of why the Motorsports Christmas started. Bernie Ecclestone, the former president of the FIA, of course, really launched F1 into what it is now. He moved Monaco onto that date in Memorial Day weekend to go against the Indy 500, basically to block his drivers in F1 from competing in the Indy 500. So F1 was never going to play game with IndyCar, but the fact that they're going directly head-to-head with them on the calendar just leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And if you're a fan of Jeff Gluck and The Athletic, I'll link his article down below. I think he stated it perfectly. So many times motorsports fans are so divided, comparing their series against the others, putting down other series just because that's not their favorite series. I'm guilty of it too, even as a NASCAR fan, comparing my series to other race series. But Motorsports Christmas on Memorial Day weekend, it seems like everyone comes together and really embraces it, whether it's Monaco in the morning, the Indy 500, NASCAR at night. No, now instead of having that cohesiveness, not only are we getting it ripped apart, we're now basically going head-to-head and fighting against each other in these series that should be embracing one another. Just don't love it. And especially for F1, it seems like their boom right now in America specifically, a lot of people have been comparing it to NASCAR in the 2000s. Make of that what you will. I mean, the marketing campaign that this movie has caused, the F1 movie, with advertising all over, it's hard to deny it. But I think this bubble definitely has hit a point where how much really could it grow, especially compared to a national series in IndyCar or NASCAR, especially NASCAR. But IndyCar, yes, it's not huge by any means compared to the two F1 and NASCAR in America. But that Indy 500 brings in massive, massive numbers, almost 8 million viewers this year. This was the best Indy 500 viewership in years. Plus, over 350,000 fans in attendance, a sellout. It's the largest single-day sporting event in the world. So maybe I'm just that American that's just annoyed with F1 trying to come over here and act like they're the only show in town. But quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I am. I'm tired of F1 acting like they're the only thing that is motorsports when there's so many great series to offer. Motorsports Christmas not only ruined, but now we've got just a massive blow up on our hands. I'm interested to see what the ratings will look like, how fans will perceive that whole Indy 500 versus the Canadian Grand Prix and attendance even. But let me know your thoughts down below. I've ranted long enough about this. IndyCar versus F1 on the Memorial Day weekend. It sounds like going head to head. NASCAR, we've got Denny Hamlin potentially not at Mexico this weekend, and meanwhile J.R. Hildebrand's just having fun racing that Hot Wheels car up the mountain. A lot we broke down today. Of course, if you like what you saw, like this video, subscribe to Breaking Bob for more NASCAR and motorsports content. It does help me out a ton here. I'll see you next time for the next video. We've got Mexico this weekend in NASCAR World. Stay tuned for more, folks. I'll see you soon.